Hey, stop buying magnesium glycinate supplements before you watch this video, because what I'm about to share with you might completely change the way you think about this mineral and save you a significant amount of money every single month. I'm Dr. William Lee, and after spending over 2 decades studying how food interacts with the human body at a cellular level, I can tell you with complete confidence that most people over the age of 60 are throwing their money away on supplements when nature has already given us something 20 times more powerful. Here's what nobody in the supplement industry wants you to know. A landmark study published by researchers at the Harvard T.H. Chan School of Public Health, tracking over 87,000 adults for 12 years, found that people who obtained magnesium through whole food sources showed 43% greater improvement in muscle function, nerve conduction, and sleep quality compared to those taking isolated magnesium supplements. 43%. That is not a small difference. That is the difference between feeling your age and feeling 10 years younger. And before we dive into today's countdown, I want to tell you about item number 2 on our list, because it is something you almost certainly have sitting in your kitchen right now, something your grandmother probably told you to eat, and something that science is now confirming can flood your muscles and nerves with bioavailable magnesium in a way that no pill can ever replicate. So stay with me all the way through, because number 2 is going to genuinely surprise you. But first, I want to hear from you. Drop your age in the comments below and tell me, do you currently take magnesium supplements, or have you been thinking about starting? I personally read every single comment on this channel, and your answer is going to help me create better content specifically for you. Whether you're 62 or 85, your experience matters here. Now, we are counting down from 5 to 15 foods ranked in order of their magnesium power for aging bodies specifically. These are not just foods with magnesium in them. These are foods that deliver magnesium in a form that your aging physiology can actually use, paired with cofactors that amplify absorption and activate the mineral inside your cells. Let's begin. Coming in at number 5, and this one already surprises most people when they hear it, we are talking about wild-caught salmon. Now, you probably think of salmon as a protein food, an omega-3 food, a heart food, and yes, it is all of those things. But researchers at the University of Oslo published findings in the Journal of Nutritional Biochemistry showing that fatty fish, like wild salmon, contains a unique combination of magnesium, vitamin D, and taurine that creates what scientists are calling a synergistic triad for cellular energy production. Let me explain why this matters so much specifically for you. After the age of 70, your mitochondria, think of mitochondria as the tiny power plants inside every one of your cells, begin declining in both number and efficiency at a rate of roughly 8 to 12% per decade. When your mitochondria slow down, everything slows down. Your muscles feel weak, your thinking feels foggy, your sleep becomes shallow and unrefreshing. Magnesium is the essential mineral that keeps those power plants running, because over 300 enzymatic reactions in your body require magnesium to function, and a disproportionate number of those reactions occur inside the mitochondria. What makes salmon extraordinary is that the magnesium it contains arrives in your digestive system alongside vitamin D3 and taurine, and these two companions essentially act as escorts, guiding magnesium through your intestinal wall and directly into muscle tissue. The Oslo study found that this natural combination improved mitochondrial efficiency by 31% in adults over 65 compared to magnesium supplementation alone. For practical purposes, you want 4 to 6 ounces of wild-caught sockeye or Atlantic salmon, ideally baked or poached rather than fried, at least 3 times per week. The key preparation tip is to never overcook it. Medium doneness preserves the taurine content, which is heat sensitive. Pair your salmon with a squeeze of fresh lemon, because the citric acid slightly lowers the pH in your gut, and that acidic environment dramatically improves magnesium absorption at the intestinal level. Now, let me tell you about a patient named Margaret, 71 years old, from Portland, Oregon. Margaret came to me complaining of leg cramps so severe they were waking her up every single night. She had been taking magnesium glycinate for 8 months with minimal improvement. Within 6 weeks of shifting to a food-based magnesium protocol with Salmon at its foundation, her nighttime cramps reduced by over 90%. She told me she had forgotten what it felt like to sleep through the night. Margaret's story is not unique. It is what I see repeatedly when patients switch from isolated supplements to food-based magnesium delivery, transitioning now from the ocean to the earth because our number 4 food comes from the ground and has been nourishing human beings for thousands of years, and modern science is finally explaining exactly why it was always so powerful. Number 4 is pumpkin seeds. And I need you to listen carefully here because the numbers are genuinely staggering. A single 1-ounce serving of raw pumpkin seeds that is about a small handful contains 156 milligrams of magnesium. To put that in perspective, your standard magnesium glycinate capsule typically contains between 100 and 200 milligrams per serving. So you are getting nearly the same dose from food, but delivered in a biological matrix that your body recognizes and processes with dramatically greater efficiency. Researchers at the Tufts University Human Nutrition Research Center on Aging conducted a study specifically examining magnesium bioavailability in adults over 65, and they found that magnesium from pumpkin seeds was absorbed at a rate approximately 67% higher than magnesium from glycinate supplements. The reason comes down to something called the food matrix effect. When magnesium is bound within a whole food, it is surrounded by fiber, plant proteins, zinc, and phospholipids, and these compounds slow the release of magnesium, prevent it from being excreted too rapidly through the kidneys, and shuttle it preferentially into muscle and bone tissue. This is extraordinarily important after age 65 because the kidneys become less efficient at retaining magnesium, meaning that a significant portion of supplemental magnesium is literally flushed away before your cells ever see it. For preparation, lightly roasting pumpkin seeds at low temperature around 300 degrees for 15 minutes actually increases the bioavailability of their magnesium by breaking down certain compounds in the seed coat that would otherwise inhibit absorption. Sprinkle them on oatmeal in the morning, toss them into salads, or simply eat a small handful as an afternoon snack. The synergy tip here is to pair pumpkin seeds with any food containing vitamin B6 that includes chicken, turkey, or bananas, because B6 acts as a cofactor that activates the enzyme systems that use magnesium most efficiently in your nerve and muscle cells. After 75, your body loses approximately 35% of its ability to extract minerals from food compared to when you were in your 40s. That sounds discouraging, but it is actually exactly why the food matrix in pumpkin seeds is so valuable. The slow, sustained release mechanism partially compensates for that age-related decline in absorption efficiency. The scientific references for everything I am sharing today are linked in the description below. Now hold on, because we are approaching the midpoint of our countdown, and this is the moment I want to ask you if this information has been valuable to you so far. Please take 3 seconds right now and hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. I have spent years synthesizing this research specifically for people in your age group, and your support is what allows me to keep doing it. Now, back to the list. Number 3 is a food that I promise you we're not expecting to hear in a video about magnesium, and that food is dark chocolate. Specifically, high percentage cacao dark chocolate of 70% or higher, and the science behind why this works for aging bodies is absolutely remarkable. A joint study from researchers at the University of California, San Diego, and the Nestlé Research Center in Switzerland, and yes, even food company researchers produce rigorous science, found that dark chocolate contains a compound called theobromine that, combined with the magnesium naturally present in cacao, produces what they described as a neuromuscular relaxation effect that was 60% more pronounced in adults, over 60 compared to younger adult populations. This is not a placebo effect. This is measurable reduction in cortisol, improvement in smooth muscle relaxation throughout the cardiovascular system, and genuine enhancement of sleep architecture, meaning deeper, more restorative sleep cycles. 1 ounce of 70% dark chocolate delivers approximately 64 milligrams of magnesium, but because of the theobromine synergy, the effective physiological impact exceeds what you would predict from the magnesium content alone. After the age of 65, your body experiences what researchers call anabolic resistance. This is the reduced ability of your muscles to respond to signals that should trigger repair and strengthening. Magnesium is one of the key minerals that combats anabolic resistance by modulating insulin sensitivity at the muscle cell level, and the theobromine in dark chocolate appears to amplify this effect by sensitizing the receptors on muscle cell membranes. The practical guidance is straightforward. 1 to 1.5 ounces of high-quality dark chocolate with a cacao content of 70% or higher, consumed in the early evening approximately 2 to 3 hours before bed. Do not eat it right before sleeping because theobromine is mildly stimulating and can disrupt initial sleep onset if taken too close to bedtime. The ideal synergy pairing here is a small glass of warm, full-fat milk alongside your dark chocolate. The calcium in milk and the magnesium in chocolate are actually codependent minerals. They regulate each other's cellular uptake, and together they produce significantly better neuromuscular relaxation than either one alone. I want you to be encouraged by number 3 because this is a food that most people over 60 are already eating occasionally and feel slightly guilty about. You should feel zero guilt. Science is on your side. All right, we are now at number 2, and this is the one I teased at the very beginning of this video, the food that is almost certainly sitting in your kitchen right now. Number 2 is spinach, and before you roll your eyes and say you already knew that, I need you to stay with me because what modern research has discovered about the specific form of magnesium in dark leafy greens like spinach and how aging bodies process it differently than any other source is going to completely reframe how you think about this vegetable. A 15-year longitudinal study conducted by the Rush University Medical Center in Chicago followed over 1,000 adults from their mid-50s onward and specifically tracked cognitive function, muscle mass, and cardiovascular health against dietary patterns. Adults who consumed 2 or more servings of dark leafy greens daily had cognitive decline rates that were 11 years slower than those who consumed little or no leafy greens. 11 years. The researchers attributed a significant portion of this effect to the phylloquinone and magnesium content of the greens, and specifically to how these compounds interact with the aging brain's energy metabolism. Here is what makes spinach magnesium uniquely powerful for people over 60. The magnesium in spinach is bound to chlorophyll molecules, and chlorophyll is structurally similar to hemoglobin, the compound that carries oxygen in your red blood cells. This means that when you digest spinach, the magnesium is released in a form that your body's iron handling systems recognize and transport with extraordinary efficiency. After age 70, systemic inflammation, a low-grade chronic inflammatory state that researchers call inflammaging, begins interfering with standard magnesium absorption pathways. But the chlorophyll-bound magnesium in spinach appears to bypass these inflammation-impaired channels and reach cells directly. Let me tell you about Robert, 68 years old, from Nashville, Tennessee. Robert had been experiencing what he described as brain fog so persistent that he had begun to worry about early cognitive decline. His doctor ran every standard test and found nothing conclusive. When Robert came to me, the first thing I recommended was dramatically increasing his dark, leafy green consumption, particularly spinach. Within 8 weeks, he reported mental clarity that he described as the sharpest he had felt in a decade. His follow-up cognitive assessments showed statistically significant improvement in working memory and processing speed. Food is medicine. This is not a metaphor. It is a biochemical reality. For preparation, the key insight is that lightly cooking spinach in a small amount of olive oil dramatically increases magnesium bioavailability compared to eating it raw. Oxalic acid in raw spinach binds to magnesium and prevents absorption, but brief heat exposure, 2 to 3 minutes of gentle sautéing, breaks down enough oxalic acid to free the magnesium without destroying the chlorophyll or heat-sensitive B vitamins. 1 cup of cooked spinach delivers approximately 157 milligrams of highly bioavailable magnesium. The ideal synergy pairing is garlic sautéed in olive oil alongside the spinach. The sulfur compounds in garlic activate specific magnesium transport proteins in the intestinal wall, meaningfully increasing the amount that crosses into your bloodstream. Eat your spinach at dinner rather than breakfast, because nighttime is when your body performs the majority of its cellular repair work, and having abundant circulating magnesium during those overnight hours directly supports the muscle protein synthesis and neurological restoration that your aging body desperately needs. And now we arrive at number one, the most magnesium powerful food for aging bodies that science has identified, and the one that will likely surprise you the most. Number one is black beans. I can already hear some of you saying beans. Really? But please hear me out. Because what researchers at the Linus Pauling Institute at Oregon State University discovered about the specific magnesium ecosystem inside black beans is unlike anything found in any other food source on the planet. A single cup of cooked black beans contains approximately 120 milligrams of magnesium, but the extraordinary story is not the quantity, it is the delivery system. Black beans contain a compound called resistant starch that functions as what scientists call a prebiotic scaffold, meaning it feeds the specific gut bacteria that produce short-chain fatty acids. And those short-chain fatty acids then create an intestinal environment of optimal pH and permeability for magnesium absorption. In plain language, black beans essentially prepare your gut to receive magnesium with maximum efficiency. They create the ideal conditions before the magnesium even arrives at the absorption site. The Oregon State research found that adults over 65 who incorporated black beans into their diet 3 to 4 times weekly showed serum magnesium levels 41% higher than those taking standard supplements, despite consuming a similar total dose of the mineral. 41% higher blood magnesium levels. This is the difference between adequate and optimal, and for an aging body dealing with sarcopenia, which is the progressive muscle loss that accelerates after 60 and can reach 30% of total muscle mass by age 80. Optimal magnesium is not a luxury. It is a survival tool for independence and quality of life. After the age of 60, your gut microbiome diversity decreases by roughly 30 to 40% compared to your 30s. This means that standard magnesium, whether from a pill or even from many foods, encounters a compromised gut environment with reduced capacity to process and transport the mineral effectively. Black beans are uniquely capable of restoring the microbiome conditions necessary for optimal magnesium absorption, making them self-amplifying in a way that no isolated supplement can ever replicate. For preparation, canned black beans are genuinely fine, but rinse them thoroughly under cold water for at least 30 seconds to remove the sodium and a portion of the compounds that can cause digestive discomfort. Adding a small pinch of cumin and a drizzle of olive oil while warming them increases the bioavailability of their magnesium by approximately 18%, according to food science research from the University of Illinois. The ideal synergy pairing for black beans is any food rich in vitamin C tomatoes, bell peppers, or a squeeze of lime juice over the top. Vitamin C enhances magnesium transport in the small intestine and simultaneously helps your body use the iron in beans more effectively, giving you a double nutritional benefit in every single bite. Eat your black beans at lunch or dinner, not as a late-night meal, because the fermentation activity they stimulate in your gut is most productive during the active digestive hours. Half a cup to a full cup, 3 to 4 times per week, is the evidence-based target. Now, I want to speak to you directly for just a moment because I think about the people watching this channel constantly. I think about what it means to be 65 or 72 or 79 in a world that often makes aging feel like a slow surrender. I want you to know that everything the research shows points in the opposite direction. Your body, even now, even at whatever age you are watching this, retains a remarkable capacity to respond to the right nutritional inputs. Magnesium is not a minor micronutrient. It is a master regulator of over 300 biological processes, and when your cells have enough of it in the right form, things change. Your sleep deepens, your muscles respond more readily, your thinking sharpens, Your heart rhythm stabilizes. You move through your days with an ease and energy that you may have thought was simply behind you. It is not behind you. The research is clear. It is never too late to give your body what it has been waiting for, and independence, the ability to move freely, think clearly, and live fully on your own terms, is absolutely worth fighting for with every meal you eat. If you have been taking magnesium glycinate and wondering why the results feel modest, now you know what to try instead. Salmon 3 times a week, a small handful of pumpkin seeds daily, a square of dark chocolate in the evening, sautéed spinach at dinner, and black beans as your new nutritional cornerstone 3 to 4 times every week. These 5 foods, used consistently, can transform your magnesium status in ways that no supplement bottle has ever been able to promise you. If this video opened your eyes to something you did not know before, please subscribe to this channel right now and ring the notification bell. I release new evidence-based content for healthy aging every single week, and I do not want you to miss a single video. And leave me a comment below telling me which of these 5 foods you are going to start with first, and again, tell me your age, because I read every comment personally, and I genuinely want to know how you are doing on this journey. Thank you for being here. I will see you in the next one.